Assalamu alaikum students. Hope you all are fine and fit. Today we are going to start lesson C reading in our unit 3. The magic of silk. Before starting reading lesson, I would like to tell you briefly about this story. This story, The Magic of Silk, is about a girl, her mother and a aged old man who surprises this girl and her mother. Why he want to surprise them? Let's read the lesson and know in detail about this story. Okay, students? Here we go. This is a story from China. A long time ago, there lived an old woman in a hut in the forest. Her husband has been killed by a tiger some years ago. She was old and weak. Life was difficult for her and her daughter, Sumi. Students, this story begins in China. There lived an old woman in a hut in the forest, and her husband had been killed by a tiger some years ago. She was old and weak. Life was difficult for her and her daughter. What is her daughter name? Sume. Sume did all the cooking and cleaning herself. She also looked after the silkworms in their garden. The worms gave them fine thread to make beautiful silk. Sume sold the silk to travelers in the village market. In this way, she got enough money to buy food and other things. Sume used to do all the cooking and cleaning, and also she looked after the silkworms in their garden. Why? The worms gave them fine thread to make beautiful silk. So, Sume sold that silk to travelers in the village market, from which she used to get good enough money and to buy food and other necessary things for them. One day, as Sume was returning, it started to rain heavily. It was getting dark too. Sume ran into the first hut she saw. The door was open and there was no one inside. Is anybody in? She called loudly, again and again, but there was no reply. Sume looked around the hut. The floor was very dirty. Bowls and pots were left unwashed. Sume swept the floor and washed all the bowls and pots. By the time she had finished, the hut was as clean as a new one. By then, the rain had stopped too. I had better go home, she said to herself. Mother will be worried. As she walked out of the hut, she saw a strange old man. His long beard reached down to his waist. He looked about 100 years old. The old man looked at Sume and smiled. As she was about to leave at the door, she came across a strange old man. His beard was reaching his waist. He was about 100 years old. He looked at Sume and smiled. Sume said, Uncle, I went into the hut because it was raining. I hope you don't mind. Not at all, young girl, replied the old man. His eyes fell on the clean floor and on the bowls and pots. Did you clean the hut for me? Yes, answered Sume. Let me help you into the hut. The old man was very happy. You are a very kind girl, he said. I must give you a present. Means he said, I must give you a present. He took out a pair of scissors and cut off a little of his long white beard. He put it in a piece of old cloth like this and gave the bundle to her. Don't give it to anyone, said the old man. Open it when you get home. Sume thanked him and went home. Her mother was very glad to see Sume safe. Sume told her mother about the old man. Sume opened the bundle to show her mother the old man's white beard. To their surprise, they saw the finest silk thread in the whole of China. They began to weave with the silk thread. When they had finished weaving, they had made the finest silk they had ever seen. They noticed that the bundle of silk thread still remained exactly the same size as before. News of their wonderful silk spread far and wide. The old woman and her daughter became famous and lived happily ever after. This is the story of the magic of silk. Hope you understood, student. Students, let's stop here. We'll continue our class in next session. Till then, thank you. Allah Hafiz. Be safe and have a nice day.